If you are working on your business school applications, one element that likely mystifies you is the optional essay. This essay is typically where schools allow applicants to explain parts of their profile that might require some clarification. So, should you write it? If yes, what should you write about, and how much detail do you need to get into? Hi, I'm Rachel Beck, Managing Director at mbaMission, and in this video, I'll give you my best advice on when you need to write an optional essay. Most importantly, though, is that you don't want to just write an optional essay because there's room to do so. It's not the place to tell the school how much you want to attend or use this space to include an essay from another program just because you feel it represents you well. What's hard for many applicants to understand is that you can leave the optional essay blank, and there's nothing wrong in doing so. The optional essay is a way to get ahead of an issue. Think of it as you putting your spin on a particular aspect versus the admissions committee deciding on their own what might have been the issue. Academic issues tend to be the most popular theme in such essays. Let's say your overall GPA is low, but much of that is a result of a weak start to college. Then you can use the optional essay to explain that the transition to college was difficult, but once you found your way, your grades rose significantly. Similarly, you can write about a disappointing outcome on your GMAT or your GRE or executive assessment exam, and then point to the fact that you don't feel your scores accurately reflect your academic and quantitative abilities. You could use other aspects of your profile, such as analytically focused work like building financial models or passing the CFA, to better showcase such skills. Optional essays can also be used to explain your professional path. If you have a gap in your employment of more than 3 months, then it's important to tell the admissions committee what happened and how you filled your time. So long as you can highlight you were productive during that time, either looking for work, taking courses to improve your skills, or volunteering, there should be no issue in laying out such circumstances. Additionally, applicants also use the optional essay to discuss a change in their career path, especially if that delayed their MBA aspirations. For instance, maybe you worked on an oil and gas rig for the first few years of your career, but that moved into a more strategic role in the industry, leading you to decide you want an MBA. In the optional essay, you could describe how much you learned from that first job about the industry, but how your subsequent role showed you why getting an MBA would really be important to your future growth. Some applicants also use the optional essay to explain why their direct supervisor isn't writing a recommendation on their behalf. The reason for this might be simple. Maybe you have a new boss that you haven't worked with for long, so you'd rather have someone who knows you better take on the recommendation. In other cases, you might worry that disclosing your MBA plans could hurt your chances for a promotion or receiving a bonus. A concise explanation of why you aren't using your direct supervisor will help the admissions committee understand your decision. The optional essay is also a place where you can talk about blemishes in your profile that need greater clarification. For instance, if you faced a disciplinary action in college or an arrest, charges, or conviction, you must give some context about the circumstances. We've seen plenty of strong applicants overcome such indiscretions and get into MBA programs. The key is to write clearly and concisely about the circumstances, present evidence where needed, and display how you've grown since the event. For example, if you get a DUI conviction in college and went on to volunteer for an anti-drunk driving organization in the years since, the admissions committee might see how you've matured since the event took place and why this incident shouldn't impede your future business success. In all these instances, the two key takeaways are to keep it concise and keep it honest. Be as brief and direct as possible, while keeping in mind any stated word limits. I hope this video helps you see when to write an optional essay and when to skip it. If you have questions about your specific candidacy, I would be happy to speak with you via our free 30-minute consultation. We can discuss aspects you might want to write about in an optional essay and how they can impact your candidacy. Click the link below to sign up. And be sure to download our optional essay guide, which goes into more depth about when to write the optional essay and how best to mitigate your weaknesses and accentuate your strengths in these essays. It's free on our website and linked in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, if you enjoyed this video and want to get more MBA admissions and application tips, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel.